Welcome back to Malt Mafia. I am here with my longtime friend, offensive lineman at the University of Louisiana, Cajun, Mr. Nick Doré.
Pleasure being on the podcast.
Oh man, it is such a pleasure having you here, sir.
Yeah.
So Nick has been playing at Louisiana Lafayette for the last year, going into his sophomore year here, or will be redshirt freshman.
Redshirt freshman.
Freshman year. Played at Dallas Christian with me. Played Pee Wee growing up together. Was at TCA for a little bit, and now he's a Raging Cajun, where he grew up.
Sure am.
What's that like going back to play at like your hometown, pretty much?
You know, it's pretty cool because my mom, she graduated from UL. We actually went when 2015. She was honored as outstanding alumni of the year at a football game.
That's pretty sweet.
And you know, it's really cool being in Lafayette because I have all my family around. So
right.
I didn't have to get used to a new setting because I've been around there since I was born.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say something.
All right, so the Sun Belt added James Madison, and you were mentioning another school before this, Old Dominion.
Old Dominion. Yeah.
How do you think that's going to affect, the whole structure of the Sun Belt Conference?
Yeah, well, I mean, we added them last year, so neither of those schools were eligible for postseason play because of JMU making the jump to Division I and then Old Dominion being added into the conference. So Old Dominion they were pretty good. Now JMU, I think, was, like we were talking about, 9-3, so they could have probably won the Sun Belt last year had they been eligible. So I think it's going to shake things up a lot, especially they're in the Sun Belt, I think, East, and we're in the West. But it's definitely going to shake it up because they're with Coastal and App and all those schools.
Okay, so that's going to be a tough side of the conference right there. And y'all won back-to-back Sun Belt championships 2 years ago with Billy Napier.
We did.
And last year, for y'all's standards, y'all still made it to a bowl game, but it was a bit of a down year for the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing this year differently to get back up to that championship level?
We talked about before we started the summer again this summer. After everybody got back in May, we had a player-led team meeting, and we were talking about, last year, it's easy to blame it on, it's a new coaching staff, new head coach. Well, really, ultimately, it falls on us because we didn't change much of anything from the transition, like the plays and everything's the same.
Right.
But we talked about when we came back in May that we needed to start doing the little things now in the summer when we started summer workouts, stance, alignment, knowing your assignment on all the plays during your OTA, so that carries over into camp, which then carries over into the season and then carries over to your games. Like last summer, I don't think that we did a great job. We weren't honed in on the little things, and it right. showed up in the season.
Yes, and y'all have done a great job of that this summer.
Well, we have. Yeah.
That's what we like to hear right there. That's Sun Belt winning material right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I think everybody, at least I can speak for the offensive line, I think everybody in the offensive line room has spent a lot of extra hours in the film room this summer just getting ready for the teams that we play.
And it all starts up front. That's
sure
what you want to hear. That's the group you want in the film room. Speaking of offensive linemen, your buddy Quentin Williams, otherwise known as Q, y'all have become really good friends over the time there. Y'all have lived together the entire time, if I'm not mistaken.
So we just started living together. Back in May, we moved into a house together. But, we've become really tight since last summer.
How's that? How have y'all made each other better or helped each other get through, obviously, the dog days of summer workouts, fall camp?
So I think I'll just go back to the beginning. We're both from Texas, so naturally.
Right.
Well, I was born in Lafayette, but I've lived most of my life in Texas. We're both familiar with the area of Dallas and everything, so naturally we were going to hit it off when we got there. But throughout from last summer to this summer, I think that we've grown our friendship to the point where I could call him like another brother of mine. But the way just getting through the summer and the season and just the repetitiveness of everything. Our key is we just take everything lightheartedly. So
that's a good way to get through things.
We're always laughing, always joking around. you can't just you gotta be able to decompress at the end of the day after spending 6-7 hours up there, just football.
Absolutely. It's good to have someone like that up there to
Right.
get you through things. Going back to high school, Dallas Christian, transferred there halfway through your junior year.
Yeah.
Got to win a state championship.
2021 state champions.
That's right. I'll remember that. So, how do you think Dallas Christian football prepared you to go play Division I football at the next level?
I think football-wise, by junior or senior year, you should already be, at the point where you're getting offers and getting looked at. But from a standpoint of like as a man, getting ready to play college football, Coach Wheeler, Coach Foster had a big effect on that. Just teaching some good life lessons. Giving me like little tips of advice. Coach Foster, we had a long talk one day. He was telling me, there's going to be times, especially during the summer, first summer as a freshman is always the hardest. He said there's going to be times where you're not going to want to be there. You're going to be missing home. You're going to be missing your friends. You're just going to want to quit. And he was like, so you just got to put your head down. He's like, you got to stay 10 toes down and just put your head down and get through it because it gets better.
Shout out to Coach Foster, by the way, one of the greatest coaches that I've ever had. I don't know if I can say the same for you, but I'm sure I could.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to Mr. Bill Foster. If you're out here figuring out how to work your phone like a random old man usually would, I hope you see this, and I hope you know that we appreciate you, Bill.
We do.
Let's say, so you had an illustrious defensive line career at Dallas Christian. I'd say decorated, incredible. And
all 4 plays that I played my senior year.
You got in 4 plays? I didn't even realize you got in 4 plays.
Yeah, and 2 of them I faked injuries on.
Okay, all right, there you go. Yeah. Illustrious, absolutely riveting defensive line career. At TCA, though, you were actually one of their best defensive linemen.
I was. Yeah, junior year, I started both ways, and I played on defensive line. I ended up having, I think, 4 sacks that year in a shortened season from COVID.
All right, so let's say you go back right now, and we're playing. I don't want to do a really bad team. I don't want to do a really good team. Let's go. Let's go with Tyler Grace.
Okay.
If you remember Grace Community out there, and you lined up at a 3 tech. What stat line are you putting up right now? You're not playing offense.
Against their offensive line right now?
No, the one with last year's. It was I forget their names, but they had 2 really good offensive linemen.
So I'm lining up at 3 tech. I think I put up a pretty good stat line. I think I'm going at least 2 sacks, couple, maybe 4 or 5 pressures on the quarterback.
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
13 to 15 tackles.
15 tackles as a 3 tech.
Yeah, from the 3 tech.
Hey,
just a run. They don't pass the ball very much, so.
I respect that. I like that. Wes Tollison, if you have anything to say about Nick just going absolutely berserk on your team's offensive line, let us know in the comments. With all that being said, what are you looking forward to most within the next 3 years coming up at UL?
I'm obviously really excited to play, but I'm also excited to just see how much I'm going to learn from the older guys before I end up getting on the field. I'm playing. They have me at left guard right now, but I'm second or third behind AJ Gilly, who is an incredible guy, one of the nicest people you ever meet, and he's really helped me grow as a player and also as a man because he's helped me get through a lot of stuff in the spring, last fall, last summer. He's just taught. He's a very good teacher, and I'm really excited to grow our friendship even more and see what else he has to teach me before he inevitably gets drafted next April.
It's pretty sweet to be playing behind some dudes that are going to be playing on Sundays in a few years.
Yeah.
And y'all, what was the name of the guy that went to the Jets from a few years back?
Jets.
Offensive lineman.
Oh, Max Mitchell. Max, yeah.
He's doing pretty good in New York.
He is. I think he's going to be starting right tackle this year. I actually had the opportunity to meet Max. I guess it had to have been this past spring before we started spring ball. Had the opportunity to meet him at a cookout that Coach Norwood had arranged for us, and he's a great guy. He's telling me all about the NFL.
That's awesome. And how's Nord? Your relationship with him? I've heard he's a great coach.
Great coach. He's a very smart guy. He'll probably be a coordinator or a head coach somewhere someday.
Wow, that's saying quite a bit.
Yeah.
He must be an awesome coach.
Yeah,
well,
he is.
That's all we have for you today.
Awesome.
Appreciate you coming on to Mullet Mafia.
Thanks for having me.
This is Nick Doré, University of Louisiana offensive lineman number 68. Watch for him on Saturdays and maybe on Sundays coming up in a few years. And
yes, sir.